In the heart of Africa, the king of beasts has to share his crown. The river is their battleground. This is a turf war between lions and hippos. Two of the biggest killers. Two powers heading for a showdown. A tiny cub is caught in the middle of the battle between giants. On the banks of a dwindling river is an extraordinary drama where deadly force meets lethal power. The Luangwa River brings life to Africa's Emerald Heart. Rains at the southern tip of the Great Rift keep this artery flowing all year. It's the wet season, and these are the good times. More hippos live along this river than anywhere else in the world. For a family of lions, the wet season brings the ultimate luxury: sleep. The single pride male drowsily guards the Nisefu pride. It's quite a gang. 5 females and last year's youngsters. Moreover, one is expecting another litter soon. There's a seasonal baby boom here in Zambia's South Luangwa National Park. In the river are hippos, spread out over 500 miles. They rest during the day when it's hot, like the lions. They come ashore at night to eat grass. Now's the time for everyone to build up their strength. Change is on its way. The Emerald Days are about to end. For the hippos, it's like losing your world. New dangers emerge. From up and down the river, hippos try to find deep pools. One spot is ideal, if you can ignore the lions. Hot and stressed, the hippos arrive. Soon, over 50 hippos have piled in. But this pool already has an owner, a dominant hippo, a beachmaster. The newcomers slip in as quietly as they can. The leading bull attacks anything he sees as a challenge. Hippos are very powerful and dangerous. They're vegetarians, yet they kill many more people than lions. Hidden in the bushes along the bank, one of the lionesses has 2 small cubs, a male and female, 4 weeks old. She moves hiding spots every few days. It's vital the cubs remain secret. Even the baboons would give them away. She must be careful. She left the pride to give birth and has stayed away ever since. The cubs couldn't keep up with the pride and are also very vulnerable in the open. She senses the baboon's alarm calls have betrayed her. A hippo. She could probably win a fight here. She knows the lay of the land. The spectators make a swift exit. The two adversaries seem to ignore each other, but it's a bluff. They're working out the odds. The cubs could easily get trampled. The hippos win the first battle, 1 point to the giants. The cubs are old enough to travel with her, and she takes them down to the river. This is the heart of the battlefield. Life is concentrated here. And it's home to some of Africa's most precious youngsters. A hippo mother, like a lioness, will guard her calf with her life. The calves in the water, the cubs on the beach, have so much to learn. Already he has an instinct to hunt and a fear of grunting hippos. The lioness and her cubs will find a new hiding place tonight. The hippo moms, on the other hand, prefer the protection of the herd. The babies form a nursery where they make friends and play. The dominant bull protects them from outsiders, but the risk is they might get caught up in the fight. Another aggressive bull hippo has just arrived. The beachmaster responds. Whoever wins will control the river and dozens of females. They are each more than twice a lion's size. Their tempers twice as bad. To win means the chance to father a dynasty, a generation of young. The risks of injury are high, and losers quickly back down. But as the season progresses, the fights will get more deadly. With his head raised, the old bull shows his dominance over the intruder. The bachelor retreats to the edge of the pool. He is fired up with testosterone and at his most dangerous. The lion pride now spends the afternoons by the river. They regard the beach on this side as their kingdom. Even by evening, the hormone-charged bachelor is still looking for a fight. The frustrated hippo takes it out on some of our pride. The lionesses know even 4 against 1 is tough. Maybe they read his mood and will wait to pick their battles. But they have underestimated his fury. The giants beat the cats again, 2-0. These showdowns are all about bluff and posturing. These lions and hippos have grown up playing this game. Last year's cubs are learning the rules and the risks. There are even bigger dangers on the far bank. The Luangwa River is the edge of the Nsefu Pride's territory. The other side belongs to two brothers. They have already killed several rivals and cubs along their waterfront. If not for the river, guarded by hippos, our pride would be in serious danger. With each day, the water levels drop. As the river becomes the focus of life, the pride is hanging out on the bank more often. The land dries, and flocks of quelea swarm here. Huge herds of buffaloes are approaching the far bank of the river to drink. For the lions, it's all on the wrong side, in alien, dangerous territory. They can smell the opportunity, but the 100-yard span of the Luangwa River is a formidable barrier. The meal is slipping away. The lions know the dangers, but they must take every chance life offers. The herd will move on, searching for grass. They make a decision to cross into another world. They might not all make it back alive. The hippos will defend their river. And they are not the only problem. The hippos stampede in panic. The boldness of the pride may have confused them into backing down. A victory for the cats. Even the crocs hold back. A youngster is excited, but now is not the time to play. His mother knows the risks. She lost the end of her tail to a croc. The other side may be rival territory, but all they care about at this moment is the buffalo. Time to hunt. Hunting buffaloes requires skill and courage. The buffaloes are all muscle to the hippo's fat, horns to the hippo's teeth. For hours they circle the herd by the riverbank, probing from two angles. They finally make their move. The buffaloes respond with a counterattack. This is a world where courage is as important as strength. The lions retreat. They head to the river to cross back. Defeated by the buffaloes, they seem much less willing to face the hippos. They are stuck on the wrong side of the river. On the opposite bank, the cubs have had better luck staying at home. Their mother has caught a small antelope, a puku, during the night. It is probably their first taste of meat. The little male has his head in the carcass, while his sister waits for him to come and play. The cubs have different characters. He's a typical boy, brave and rough. In their games, he's always the lion. She's always the antelope. The irony is, it's mostly the adult females who do the hunting. Suddenly, their mother growls a warning. They are not alone. An unknown lone lioness, an outsider with no pride, is desperate for food. The cubs don't know what to do. The nomadic female charges in. The mother refuses to back down. She needs every bit of food to provide milk for the cubs. Briefly, they share, and the cubs comfort each other. But soon, the struggle for food turns into a tug of war. For the cubs, the world must seem bewilderingly frightening and full of impossible choices. The mother decides to abandon the kill and see to the safety of her cubs. For a nursing mom, half a puku is not enough. The little female is the more nervous of the two cubs, taking in every new sound. Their mother takes them to a new hiding spot. She must hunt again. The cubs are very vulnerable alone. Leopards and hyenas keep an eye out for hidden youngsters. And with so many dangerous hippos nearby, the odds are not good. Leaving them can't be easy. Hippos continue to arrive. The newcomers cause dangerous turmoil. Every mother has her problems. The lion pride is still stuck on the wrong side of the river. A buffalo calls in distress. The muddy banks are a death trap for a heavy buffalo. And this one is stuck. The croc soon retreats. The buffalo is still dangerous. He will defend himself with his horns, and an attack from the rear isn't feasible. The youngsters conclude the same. Killing isn't easy. It's too dangerous. The pride is left with only one option. Wait for it to die. Overnight, the inevitable has happened. Before dawn, they managed to drag it out of the water. The crocodiles haven't given up. The lions chase off everyone they can. Eventually, the pride withdraws to digest, and the vultures take over. One of the youngsters, in spite of his full belly, wants to defend the carcass. He was a cub last year, and in human terms is like a teenager. He's learning when to be brave and when to give up. And after a few rounds with the vultures, he realizes it's just not worth it. Meanwhile, the mother lioness has spotted the vultures, and she sees her pride on the wrong side of the river, and with a kill. She hasn't fed her cubs for 2 days. Hunger clouds her judgment. The hippos soon notice her and raise the alarm. The combination of food and seeing her extended family spurs her on. She warns that she means business. It's the second time the giants have backed down, and the score is now even. The mother greets her pride. It's been 2 months since she left to give birth. She heads for the carcass. Too late. The vultures have finished the meal. Hungry and frustrated, she makes her big mistake. She sets off to hunt by herself on the wrong side of the river. After a mile or two, an impala in a network of gullies. The impala never saw her coming. At last, she has finally made a kill, but her cubs are on the other side of the river, and she is raiding someone else's hunting ground. She's being watched by 2 territorial males who won't hesitate to kill intruders. She's lucky to escape with only a beating. The males follow her to the river. She has no choice. She has to swim. The croc very nearly got her. The local hippos watch the drama without interfering. The 2 males could cross the river after her, but they've made their point. She's back in her own territory and immediately returns to where she left her cubs. They're not there. She calls for them. There's no response. All she can do is search. She's been searching all night without success. It's the little female, but no sign of her brother. To find one alone is bad news. She continues to search, but in vain. With hunger and tension everywhere, young life hangs by a thread. The hippos return later each day from their nightly foraging. They're having to travel farther. The Pride, a few miles down the river, find this intrusion onto their beach a serious threat. The hippos have to run the gauntlet. This is only about who is in charge, lions or giants. They face each other, eye to eye. They could ignore one another, but they seem to want each other to know who is boss. The hippo holds its ground, challenging the lioness to attack it. A small psychological victory, perhaps, for the hippo. The lions rule the river. Sooner or later, everyone has to come and drink. At this time of year, the river provides plenty of hunting opportunities. But hunting on a wide open beach is not easy. There is no place to hide for an ambush hunter. And so the lions just wait. If you can bear it, there's an opportunity now. The camouflage of heat. But the impalas are alert and know the lions are there. The hippos, too, are getting accustomed to the lions. Maybe curiosity drew this young one so close to the Pride. Maybe he hasn't learned to fear them yet. His innocence may prove fatal. The cat has taught the little giant a lesson that will last long after the claw marks have healed. Several of the hippos bear impressive battle scars. The Luangwa keeps flowing, and somehow the hippos are finding enough food. Bachelor bulls are again challenging the dominant hippo. The big beachmaster displays. Splattering dung means, I'm the boss. The chomping jaw means, Not now that I'm here. The calves are curious and gather to watch. But this is a dangerous lesson. The resident has the advantage, but this opponent is stronger than he is. For more than an hour, they battle. In the end, the resident bull wins the fight. But one of the babies got in between. The mother couldn't protect her calf from the two fighting giants. It's the youngest who often pay the highest toll. The lions are the only winners this time. One morning, as the hippos are returning from grazing, the mother lioness also returns to her pride. And she's brought the little female cub. Getting to know everyone will take some time. Even her mother isn't very welcoming this morning. There are aunts to meet, and older cousins. Now that her brother is gone, there are no other cubs her own age. The lionesses may be trying to relax, but one of the yearlings is restless. The older male and little female are probably cousins. They make an odd-looking couple of cubs. No one notices them wander off to explore. There's a whole world to discover. The cubs cause a bit of a stir, though they are both far too young to be any danger. They settle under some trees, where a herd of gentler giants appears. After meeting antelope and elephants, they're ready for their snooze. Back with the pride, a lioness has woken, but she's not noticed the missing cubs. She's more focused on an opportunity. It's a small herd of kudu bulls, one of the strongest antelopes in Africa. The rest of the pride join the hunt. A second lioness heads for the gullies to work her way around the kudu without being seen. They are slowly setting a trap. The alarm is raised by the impala, and the kudu spot the main attack. The lions spring the trap. The rest of the pride joins the feast. No one notices that two youngsters are missing. When the cubs wake up, they realize they have lost the pride. He calls in the hope that someone will respond. They need to find the pride before it gets too dark, and the hippos emerge to feed. Too late. Maybe the older has an instinct to protect the younger. He is about to do something very brave. A pint-sized lion chases off a huge giant. An unlikely victory. Lions are the only social cats. That means looking after each other. The two young lions arrive at the river. It's the best place to wait for the pride to turn up. The first rain for 8 months. But for the cubs, it doesn't help. The rain will wash away tracks and scent. They're both too young to catch food and will starve, though it's more likely that hippos or large predators will find them first. An unfamiliar roar. Nomads from upriver. If the males detect the cubs, they would almost certainly try to kill them. Male lions often kill cubs they don't know. But today, the cubs have an unlikely ally. The hippos chase them off. The cubs are safe. It's an extraordinary turn of events, and the cubs are incredibly lucky. At a time of turf war between lions and hippos, the giants may have saved two young lions' lives. By sunrise, they are still on their own. Another call. This time, it's familiar. The little cub's mother. She leads them back to the pride. After 8 months of dry season, the rains transform the landscape. The pride is complete again. The cub finally gets her breakfast. The elder cub joins the other yearlings. Both have survived the dry season. It's a season that saw rulers fight and mothers lose young on both sides. There were many casualties. Where their kingdoms merged, conflicts arose and grew. The animals, changed, scarred by the battles, now all go their separate ways. The turf war between the lions and the giants is over. At least until next year.